Welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest, and today we're going to be diagnosing a no start on a vehicle we just got a call about. Hasn't been started in like 2 weeks or something. They couldn't get it started, so we'll see if we can figure it out. We usually can. Sometimes we can't, but this probably will be one of the times that we can, especially if you're seeing the video. So come along. We'll go through how we diagnose a no start and get this car back on the road, hopefully, or at least figure out what it needs to do so. Consider subscribing and becoming a channel member if you haven't already to support the channel and a couple of awesome projects that we do where we fix people's cars who can't afford to do so. And also you'll get a lot of perks, behind the scenes videos, and just helping in the decision making of future videos. Without further ado, here we go. We'll get over there and get this car looked at. All right, here we are. It's a 2006 Dodge Stratus. So it died on the interstate one day, and well, she said it had a loss of power and then it died. So she got a new alternator and a new battery, which is probably in that fender well down there or stuck in the trunk, but I'm not familiar with this vehicle enough to know. And it still wouldn't start. So battery's dead now. And when they sprayed starting fluid in there, it wanted to start, quote unquote. I'm not exactly sure what that means. There's oil in the spark plug wells. She told me. I said that is probably unrelated to the no start and just bad seals on this valve cover that'll just need to be replaced. I don't see any so far. Yeah, I don't see any oil on those spark plugs. So it is either not bad enough, or it's been cleaned by somebody else. I'm not sure. I'll double check with her what that meant, but I didn't see any oil. We will, yeah, I guess put the jump box on it, because I think she said the battery's dead, which is a bummer. If there was any codes like a throttle position sensor that was maxed out or something not starting, then that would have been good to know. We'll plug everything up and see what we get going. Okay, I'm gonna listen for that fuel pump whine when I do this. Okay, I'm gonna plug my, I don't hear that fuel pump, but I'm gonna plug my scan tool up to it while it has this check engine light on. And I have enough juice in that battery pack, and then I'll worry about listening for that fuel pump again and seeing if that isn't the issue. So, well, let me cycle it a few times. That way, if that fuel pump is working, it builds some pressure up, and we'll check that check engine light. Everybody keeps asking about my scan tool. This is the Harbor Freight scan tool. It does live data. That's about it. I'm gonna get a better one day, but ZR13, that's the one I've been using. No DTCs. Yeah, it's probably a fuel problem, it feels like. Anyways, we'll turn off that jump box to check fuel pressure. Okay, please be a pressure valve up here on the fuel rail. There should be a Schrader valve somewhere. But it's a Dodge, so who knows? Not that I'm above certain brands over others, I just tend to do things a little differently. Well, at least it's got a quick release. I'll just release it. Okay. Now I'm gonna turn the key on and watch for fuel to squirt up. Okay. Here we go. Watch for fuel. Reach through here. Grab this stupid wheel. All right. Here we go. Yeah, no fuel. Okay, no fuel. I could look over here. I mean, this isn't the way to do it, but I don't have like a fuel pressure test kit. So she's either out of fuel or she's got a bad fuel pump or fuel pump relay. So we will check the relays by doing the good old trusty switch it out with the horn relay, because they're almost always the same. We'll make sure the horn works, switch the relays around, and then see if that doesn't fix it. Or we'll just test the horn again and see if that relay was good. If it is, then we'll see how this fuel pump is accessed, but it'll probably turn into another episode of coming back and replacing the fuel pump, or tearing everything up, or dropping the tank to get down there and test it. But we'll check everything up here first, and then we'll end up down there. Okay, classic Dodge, didn't label their fuse box. Again, nothing against Dodge. If it was what I had, I'd drive it. Anyways, they didn't label their fuse box, so just Google real quick, fuse box. We know the starter's working because I could hear it, so I'm gonna switch that with the fuel pump because it's right next to it. That would be these two here, starter, fuel pump. We'll switch those and see if the starter still works. If it does, then we'll see if it's not right under that back seat. We'll test the wires. If not, then we'll talk about dropping the fuel tank and doing some testing, and possibly, most likely, replacing the fuel pump. So we'll check in. Okay, so the reason I'm doing it this way, she said that they almost got it to start with starter fluid, which I'm like, okay, probably fuel issue. You just want to be careful using carb cleaner, starter fluid, whatever, to start the engine. So I'm just going to do all this first to determine that it's a bad fuel pump. The audio test, I just couldn't even hear it when I first turned the key on. That's the best indicator. So anyways, yeah, just before you go spraying starter fluid, just test your other methods. Okay, I just got those swapped with my awesome pliers. I'm gonna keep talking about these because I always wanted a pair and somebody gave me these, so I love them. Yeah, we'll go ahead and test that now. Make sure that starter still turns over. If it does, then we'll know that relay was fine. Get our power on here with my favorite jump box. All these tools are in the description. Let's see what she's got. If the starter turns, then we'll know it's probably that fuel pump. And there you have it. Oh, we'll make sure she has fuel. It says she has some fuel. So it says she has some fuel. I'll pop up that back seat and just check for the fuel pump down there and test voltage. So check in after we do that, if that's accessible. All right, so here we are, no fuel pump accessible in the trunk or under the seat. I checked. I'm not gonna show you because it's dirty like everybody's underneath their seat is, but no need to see that. There's no fuel pump access under there. So at this point, we're gonna look at dropping the tank just to test the stuff. So it's probably, I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen it be an issue in the wiring, maybe one time. It's almost always the fuel pump, so we're gonna go ahead and run that by her. Get her the price. This is a diagnosis well done. Technically not complete because it could be something in the wiring, but we can't test it till we drop that tank. Probably the fuel pump. We'll probably be doing that anyway. So diagnosis well done. Thanks for watching. This is the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. Quick little video for you. Consider subscribing. We'll see you on the next episode.